Hello everyone and welcome to JP Creation, and in this lecture we are going to see how to use pivot. So pivot point or the gizmo, you can see the three-dimensional arrow in the middle. Because of this we can scale, rotate, or we can move the geometry. So if I scale in y direction, see the object is getting scaled from the mid of the geometry. So if we go in the side view by clicking on the space bar in the side view, and if we want to change the pivot point, then we can press D key on the keyboard and then move in Y direction at the bottom, so it will come down. And now if you scale it pressing R in this way, now you can see that the base is at the same place, but the portion is getting scaled from the upside. Okay, in this way. If we want to increase the size of the pivot, press plus button on the keyboard, and if you want to lower the size, then press minus. In the same way we can rotate the geometry in this way from the same pivot. But if we want to keep the pivot at the middle again, then select the geometry. Here in the polymodeling you can see one icon called center pivot. We can click here, or we can come in the modify, and then here you can see an option center pivot. On this if you click, then the pivot will come in the middle of the geometry. In the same way, if you want to create an eye, for an example, if I keep the object here, and if we keep the pivot in the middle of this grid, then if by pressing D only we can move the pivot, but we cannot properly snap in the middle. So if you want to snap, here you will get one option called grid snap. So snap to grid, turn on this option, and then by dragging in X direction you can properly snap here on the middle of the grid. After snapping it, press D key again to come out of that command, and then we can duplicate this object by pressing Ctrl plus D. And if you are scaling this object in minus, now if I select the scale X and then make the value decrease, then you can see that the value is getting decreased and coming on the opposite side. So if you put -1, then the object will come correct opposite to the object. Okay, so in this way you can mirror an object or create a duplicate. This option is used while we create a car, while we create a bike or a human character. There are many ways, like if we want to rotate the sphere from this side, then we can change the pivot, like by pressing insert also we can change the pivot. Now the pivot is getting snapped to the grid, so we will turn off this option and then bring the pivot a bit down here. And if you want to rotate the pivot, then we can rotate it also and bring it here. And again, if you want to come out of this change pivot mode, then press on insert or press on D. And now if you move the object, you can see the pivot is the object is moving in that particular direction where we have rotated the pivot. So if you want to reset the pivot, again you can go to the setting icon, means in the tools you can click twice. It will open the tool settings, and in tool settings you can click on reset tool. If you reset it, the pivot will again come in the original axis. And if you want to bring the pivot again in the middle, then click on center pivot by going to modify and then center pivot.